Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Creative Chaos. My name is Hunter Ezell, and it's 70 degrees today. I don't know what's happening out there. Global warming is real. You better call somebody, tell them you love them. But talking about things heating up, I've got two of the hottest wedding planners in the entire world sitting across from me today. We've got Justin and Josiah from Samkoma.World.
What's up?
We all doing? Holy crap, dude. I'm always like, people think in the wedding industry, I'm the only one in Hoptown. It's like going out there and filming weddings, helping out at weddings, planning weddings, stuff like that. But I'm like, no, Hoptown boy.
We have a born tiny hero.
Come on, bro. It's like the wedding Avengers right here. I'm so sorry, Scott Carroll and Luke Metzger. I took that from y'all for just one day.
What's up, Scott?
Oh my gosh, Scotty. Anyways, dude, what's up?
What's up? So happy to be here.
I am so glad you guys are sitting here today, dude. Like, it's crazy. Like, we worked your cousin's wedding a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Still one of the smoothest weddings I've ever did in my life because we had you photographing and you were planning to, you were just coordinating the whole thing. It was fantastic. Shout out Dalton. Okay.
Come on, Elena. Helps when you got a peaceful couple, too.
Just chill. It's just so sweet.
That makes all the difference.
And I think it runs in the family.
McGregor blood.
Hey, it is, bro. So you guys are in town for what?
For my sister's gender reveal.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I'm the only one that knows right now, so I can't give so much.
So you're like,
Okay, here he is. It's just kidding.
No.
It's either blue or it's pink.
Yeah.
So we'll find out today.
What are all they pushing for, though?
Well, I'm the only boy on my mom's side, so I think the whole family's pushing for a girl.
Yeah.
I think my dad thinks it's a boy.
Well, that's crazy.
We'll see.
So for people who don't know who you two are, what do you do?
We are Samkoma, International Creativity Concierge.
Yes,
That's what you want to say.
we do full service wedding planning. We started in Nashville and we're doing it primarily locally. And then after COVID, we were like, when the world opens back up, we got to get out and see as much of the world as possible. We've always loved to travel.
Yeah.
But we had like the pipe dream of maybe we can do weddings and travel at the same time. So we rebranded during COVID and like started really
Moved
pushing
to
the
LA.
destination.
Started Samkoma.
That's sick. So I know what Samkoma means, but tell people what that is. Because for the longest time, I was like, which
Who
one
is Sam?
Who is Sam?
I know, we get messages all the time. Hey, Sam.
No, literally, bro. We were thinking about Matthew Coma. He's married to like Hillary Duff stuff. Yeah. See, I know ball when it comes to EDM. I'm telling you. But yeah, tell people what it means.
Samkoma is an Icelandic word for come together.
That's sick.
And it came from Josiah lived in Iceland for a month.
Yeah, short time. Over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've been to Iceland a couple times. Love Iceland. The most peaceful energy, most peaceful people out there. So when we were trying to rebrand, we were like, what fully encompasses travel, destination, but also is like the coming together of things. Wedding World is all about like bringing the pieces together, bringing the vendors together. So it just made sense.
Intentionality.
See, I'm a firm believer that you are your business name. You're only as good as what your business name is. You know what I'm saying? So, I see these people and like, I'm not throwing no shade at nobody, but it's just like, if you've got like an ill-spelled word that shouldn't be spelled a certain way in your business name and stuff like that, I'm like, that trim was cool in like 2005.
Right.
You know?
We got to stand the test of time.
But, it's like, I feel like your business name goes as far as you want to make it. So I feel like you guys really set the standard for yourself, though. It's like, got an Icelandic name as your.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how did you like Iceland, though?
Oh, it's the most magical place on earth.
I want to go.
We've done an elopement there, honestly, right after Dalton's wedding. We flew straight to Iceland.
Yeah, I punched so many walls on the way home.
And we actually just booked and have our first big wedding next year.
Yeah.
So we'll be going down
next
this year.
Cool,
Scope
dude.
it all out.
That's
and
awesome.
Excited to be back.
So you guys do you guys go to these locations multiple times before the actual wedding day with the couple, or what do you do?
At least one.
Yeah.
We try to get, especially if it's international, we'll try to when we book international, we try our best to put them as close together as possible, especially because it benefits the client too. Because it's we're already going to be there. It cuts out a lot of travel time. We can just bounce from this spot to this spot.
Does that cut out travel costs on some of their ends too?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of times what we'll say is if somebody books in June, for example, then if we get another European inquiry, then we'll just tell them hey, most of the time if somebody's booking in Europe, unless they have a specific date set in their mind because of astrology or their favorite date or something like that. A lot of times they're just we want summer of 2026 or 2027.
Mhm.
So then we're okay, great news. We're going to be in Iceland in June and we're going to be in Spain in September. If you piggyback anywhere within 10 days of either one of those dates, then couple number one pays to get us there. Couple number two pays to get us home.
What a good problem to have.
Right.
And then we have to twist our arm. We got to hang out in Europe for a few days.
Because if you were to ask Hunter Ezell, the biggest question I get out of people that live in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, do you know what it is? You mean they pay for your travel?
Exactly.
I mean, you
Yeah.
gotta get there.
You got to get there somehow.
Yeah. It's what else am I going to do, bro?
Right.
Of course they're going to pay for me. I'm not going to pay to go work. That cuts into my take home, bro.
Right.
People are crazy. That's nuts. I've always wanted to go to Iceland.
Yeah, it's amazing. And honestly, it's such a short flight. You can get to Iceland as fast as you can get to Hawaii from here. So,
Well, I was in Hawaii
I know
2 months ago.
Well, Hawaii, honestly, from here is further. Takes longer.
Yeah.
There than it does to Iceland.
We flew on the way back from Honolulu to JFK. I never want to do that again.
Oh.
I never want to do that again.
You'd hate yourself.
So the thing is that we had originally flown to Minneapolis and then Minneapolis to Honolulu. On the way back, they were like, hey, your flight's going to be delayed 5 hours. I go, I'm not doing that. And so we're getting ready to fly home. And I'm looking at all these flights and I'm like, oh, Honolulu JFK sounds cool.
Yeah.
It was an empty flight, but I made the mistake. They were letting everybody it was a somewhat empty flight, so you could just take up a whole row if you wanted to.
Right.
Well, I was an idiot. You know what I didn't do? I didn't pick the 3-seater. I was like, I'll take the side right here in the corner. I want a window seat too. Baby, they gave me 8 pillows and I still wasn't comfortable. And our best friends, mine and Logan's best friends, they married each other and they were about to have their baby, and they were just had a bunch of false alarms and stuff like that. Well, they were having to go to Vanderbilt to have the baby and stuff like that. Well, they live here in town. And so I get a notification on Life 360. That's how you know you're in good with a bunch of friends, is if you got the location on Life 360. And we were up in there, and all of a sudden my AirPods go, such and such has left their house. And I go, uh-oh, it's 2 a.m. Where they at? What's up? So I'm over here, can't get no sleep. Soon as I go to sleep, that pops in my ears. And I'm like,
What am I going to do now?
my back, I'm stuck. But yeah, no, I'm not messing with no long haul like that.
I'd been 11 hours or something, right?
It was 12.
Yeah, that's long.
It's shorter to go from London to Nashville.
Right.
I've also done that. Have y'all done that nonstop yet?
We have
No, we
done
flew to New York to London when we do that.
Awesome. But
Where
Nashville,
we did fly all the way from Athens to New York.
I've done that too. I will say Nashville does have a nonstop to Iceland now, and I'm probably gonna have to check that.
You need
gotta
to
check
check it out. You got to check it out.
So do you know my boy Brandon Hessen from Bowling Green?
Name sounds familiar.
So he just did our new branding photos a couple weeks ago. He loved Iceland. Hate to see him coming.
I believe it.
Iceland hates to see him coming. He did a couple of shoots with a girl out there. I want to say her name is Sydney from Bowling Green, and they just crushed it. Scott does a bunch of content for her now. It's like Soul Fed Home or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, super awesome place. I want to go. Isn't it
I
nice?
got my new telephoto lens. So
Did you really?
Out to crush some travel this
Specifically for that. So
Really? What'd you get?
the 7200.
Yeah.
It's been a a work in progress for about.
And that
Forearm's gonna be bulked up, boy.
right, that's right.
I don't feel like it's any heavier than the 2870 though.
What do you shoot with?
Canon.
Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, I got two C70s right here. I got a R5 Mark II in my bag, and I got an R5 at the house. Yeah, I know about Canon a little bit.
It's a good setup.
It's pretty solid, but you're crushing it in, like, the drone aerial photography too, ain't you? What drone are you rocking?
Honestly, the Magic or the Mini Pro 3.
Yeah.
So it's,
Come on, bro. Mini gang. What's the one?
they know it's a high tech.
That's what I'm trying to get people. I'm like, bro, you don't. Everybody's like, for like beginners and stuff like that. They're like, what do you? I got X amount to spend. I was like, well, first of all, you're wasting your money
Yeah.
because you're not making no money yet, but you want to jump right into it. I get people all the time that ask me about that. And I just think it's the silliest thing.
It suits me just fine.
The minis go crazy.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy taking photos where you're from? From like where you live and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a lot of pretty scenery around Wilmington.
Yeah. It snowed there recently, huh?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
I think last year was the first time they had a big snow in 10 years, and it was our first snow there, and then it started again this year. So I guess we brought it.
How long y'all been over there?
That'll be 3 years.
Yeah,
This
like
year.
for 3 years. I lived there like 15 years ago, so I was familiar with the town. And Justin used like always loved Wilmington. We always used to go there on trips when we lived in Nashville. So it's like the best kept secret of the South. Shh, nobody go, but also come visit.
What is it? What's that little area? It's like Charlotte, Asheville, and it's like the little Tri-City area. Everybody's
Is it Raleigh?
yeah, Raleigh,
Around?
Raleigh, Charlotte. There's something because I was, you know how when you're on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff, your FYP will like get accustomed to it. And, like all the TikToks I would see in that area were like, please don't move here, we're full,
Yeah,
and like keep it a secret.
I mean, it is honestly so magical in that way. Lots of movies, lots of TV shows were filmed there, so it feels like you're kind of walking around in a Hallmark movie all the time.
Citywide speed limit's 35, pretty much.
It's also nice to relaxing state. It's honestly really nice.
Can we please get more speed bumps in Hopkinsville?
Yeah.
Please. I don't care if it mess up your front axle. You need to slow down.
Right.
Dude, that's crazy. So how did you guys first, okay, so you talked about that push to get into international travel and international weddings. I always tell people it only takes one person or one couple to take a chance on you. Tell me about the first one you guys ever did.
Well, Josiah's done this for about 2.5, 3 years before we met,
Mhm.
and was under a different name. And then when we met, like maybe a month after we met, I worked my first wedding with you.
Yeah.
And it just like every wedding from then on, I was a part of in some way. And then during COVID, I was in real estate in Nashville. And then when we decided to move to LA, that was when we kind of just combined our creative energies. And like, that's when Samkoma was born.
Mhm.
And moved to LA. And that's when we really booked our first. He's done a couple of away ones before we met, but our first one was the Lake Como wedding.
And I feel like what's interesting is like, we're both firm believers in like putting out there what you want to attract and like
Absolutely.
believing in all the things. And so I think that when we rebranded and started saying like destination, we're passport ready, let's go see the world, like let's like run away together, all of those things, it really like people, when they see that, they gravitate towards it. Like if that's already what they're thinking and they're seeing that in the marketing, the branding, I don't even know that it was necessarily like a marketing plot where we were like, let's try and get this, as much as we were like, we were speaking out what we wanted for our life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And anybody who aligns with that, like, welcome.
I mean, that's how it's been for me and Logan specifically. I mean, if you knew personally half the couples that we'd shot with, it's like we have remained like acquaintances with over half of our couples. Shout out Bridget and Nathan from Orlando, Florida. They convinced us to get annual passes to Disney World. They got married in Animal Kingdom last May.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that.
And we literally have been down there to go to Disney with them at least 5 times in the past 8 months. I feel like you were like putting out there that you are this type of way, and you end up getting back the same kind of people,
Exactly.
And I think lucky for us is that in Hopkinsville specifically, that I can say that if you're traveling outside of Kentucky to, like, get married and stuff, I'm grateful to say that odds are, like, we're going. Like, I'm gonna be in your suitcase, you know? That's a great problem to have.
It is.
It is.
It is. And really, it just takes one.
It does.
The ball rolling.
It does.
And I feel like it was before we even produced the Lake Como wedding. It's like we booked it, and then a couple of weeks later, we booked a Cabo one,
Yeah.
and then that was when it just really started going.
It really has been amazing.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
been a whirlwind ever since.
Lake Como, I might have something there next year. You know?
Right.
But people, they're always like, how does that happen? I was like, I don't know. I honestly could not tell you how it happened because I'm sure, like me, like I'm pretty sure it's the same for y'all. It's like I wake up every morning, I don't know what's going to be in my inbox.
It is honestly, I just started with a therapist to try and like help me stop checking my email as much. Cause it is honestly, I feel like very similar to gambling where you're literally like, every time you check it, it could be like a new lead that ends up being some sort of insane lead. And so it's like, I'll sometimes not want to go even like an hour or less to check my email again because you never know when the next big one's going to reach out. So it is rewarding in that way. I feel like a lot of people who work,
And it really is a gamble because if you don't reach out, like they're going to get a hold of somebody.
Yeah.
and so a lot of times, like we've heard consistently with lots of couples that have booked us, is like they'll find us on Instagram, they'll keep scrolling, they'll DM 3 or 4 other people or email 3 or 4 other people, and we were the first to respond.
Mhm.
And then they're like, by the time we get around 4 or 5 days later to scheduling a call and doing a call with them, on the call, they're like, we reached out to a few people. We still haven't even heard back from 2 of them. Y'all immediately responded. And so, like, on the personal side of things, it's like trying to find work-life balance is a challenge. But on the professional side of things, it's like we have seen time and time again that, like, at least the initial follow-up, getting back on their radar when somebody reaches out is like, people want that.
I think what a lot of people are, because I mean, I'm a sucker in this aspect. Definitely, if Logan was here, she'd be smacking the table. This is you. This is you. But like, we could be on vacation somewhere crazy, and we're like, no phones, no work, no nothing. But if that honey book pop up, and it's like you got a high priority lead, oh baby, I'm stopping what I'm doing. I'm stopping what I'm doing because it's really hard to know that like you're always on. Like you never, I quit a 34 hour like like a 30 to 40 hour work week to work nonstop.
Right.
Because you could get a high level inquiry at the middle of the night, you know? And I think that's something that a lot of people just don't really. I'm still struggling with the work life balance and stuff like
Oh,
that.
for sure.
I don't
Kills
do
me.
I think it's honestly, as an entrepreneur, you're probably never going to fully ever.
No, you never will.
No.
And a
But
couple
the
that
payoff also on the other side of it is like a lot of our friends that are working 9 to 5s, it's like they don't have the opportunity on a random Thursday to potentially land another like significant chunk of income for their household.
yeah.
And we will wake up on sometimes on a random Thursday in January and lock something in. So it's like, on the one hand, it's like the consistency of having a steady paycheck and tapping out at 5 p.m.
Mhm.
Great.
Which
But
is the other that I come from.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was
Right.
corporate up until 2020.
Right.
then on the other hand, it's also like the opportunity to get to see more of the world and make great money to do it is like lingering at your inbox at all times.
One of my favorite regulars, I worked at Starbucks for about 4 years. And hey, look, we're all in the same. Like, everyone, same. Come on. Unicorn Frappuccino coming back. God help us. God help us. 2 of the darkest days of Starbucks history was whenever all the POS systems blacked out across all Starbucks and the Unicorn Frappuccino. The first story was crazy because it got around on Twitter that all the POS systems went out, and they was coming in droves because we had to give away product for free. They just couldn't shut down.
Right.
Just give us stuff in droves. The Unicorn Frappuccino was crazy. I'll never do that again. But one of my favorite regulars at Starbucks, he said, Hunter, money's falling out the sky. You just got to figure out how to catch it. Shout out Tom.
So true. Come on, Tom from Starbucks.
Tom is
Keep that one in mind too.
Tom is a dog. If he was to go over there right now, he'd be sitting there on his computer. Swear, I'd put money on the line. He'd be sitting right there. He's there every day. I go in there, I talk to him. We never miss a beat.
Yeah.
He's from Canada. I love that guy.
Love it.
So your first wedding was in Lake Como. Was it just like, did they just like somehow just like find you on the internet or just?
They found us through, we had a couple of mutual friends that they followed on Instagram, and then they contacted us. We had just moved to LA, and they also lived in LA. And so when they first reached out, they said that they wanted to get married somewhere beautiful and somewhere far away, but they didn't have a specific location in mind. So sometimes we'll get couples that are like, I want to get married in Lake Como, or I want to get married in Italy specifically. And then we help them find their venues. Other couples will reach out. We just booked a couple in Spain that was like, we want to get married somewhere in Europe. So it's like, first question, have you ever been to Europe? And if you haven't, then let us give you the rundown of like this country versus this.
So the majority of these couples just come to you with like a blank canvas. They're like, we don't know what we want. We want you to help us.
I feel like,
I would say probably like 90%.
but I would say that that's also like in the last 3 or 4 years been the case. Like, I feel like in the earlier years, everybody came with like, this is my whole design vision. This is everything that I want on Pinterest. How can you make this happen for the price that I want to pay?
Yeah.
Now,
It's more so they have all the elements, just like have no idea what to do to like put it together.
Which I feel like those are great for you, but you feel like a lot more free whenever you have a blank canvas and you're walking through the entire experience with them.
so much more creativity. And also,
Absolutely.
I also feel like it's like if somebody comes with lots of specific ideas in mind, while we can do that for them, it's also a lot of times when we're working with couples, we'll help them come up with ideas that we can't find anything on Pinterest about, which then tells us like, this hasn't been done 166 times. So for couples that are like, this is what I want my altar to look like, this is what I want my reception to look like, then ultimately it's like, great. If we Google that image, your wedding's going to look almost exactly like everybody else's, which is fine if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's your wedding. Like, let's make it something unique. So
I feel like the thing that we get on our inquiry forms a lot is, oh, I liked such and such's wedding film. And then that insinuates, oh, can mine look just like that?
Right.
No, that's not your wedding. You know, it's not your wedding day.
And that's what we say too. We push really hard because we will never fully copycat like another
design. That's happened twice to us on the other end. And we're like, okay, that
sucks.
half of our friends and my mom and people were like, what did they say? Like, basically like being copied is the highest form of flattery.
No, it is.
And I'm like, I do understand that, but at the same time, like,
Hey, what's up, dog? So, unfortunately, the camera that was recording Justin and Josiah, the memory card was full for about 10 minutes. I did not notice it. So you gotta deal with my ugly face for 10 minutes while they're talking. Hope you enjoy. Love you. Hope you're loving the episode.
this was our design that somebody literally took.
Yeah. So, or if it's like if we still haven't even had a chance to fully post about it yet,
Yeah.
and then
Then it looks,
or like the sneak peek's been out, but then somebody sees it, falls in love with it, and then their wedding happens with that full design, and so you know what I mean? It's just like,
Oh, I get it.
our wedding is the copy of their wedding when really we did it first. It's fine. I mean, it's the pros and cons of social media.
because it's like you spend a year or more intricately designing all this stuff. So I think just like it's the shock factor for us to just like see it, and you know the shock of it like fades out after a little bit. So it's not like we're mad or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, but I do completely understand that, like, you know, in my world, this is a very like nitpicky thing, but it's just like I see people who are like late to like the Instagram sound trends and stuff like that, and I was like, dog, you're late. You know, you're late to the game. But I also understand the whole like sneak peek thing, you know, stuff like that. I'm sure the weddings you guys work and everything like that. I'm interested to know if you all have your hand in like getting images sent to the right publications. Do you guys handle that, or what happens there?
Unless one of our celebrity clients has PR in-house, then they'll usually take the lead on that. We're still like involved, but for the most part, Josiah's basically played PR for all the
If I wasn't a
That's-
wedding
couples that
planner,
have been published.
PR would be the world.
Come
Like,
on, dog,
I
let's go,
literally
let's
love
go.
that. But I will say that, like, in general, with publications, from now I've been in it for 10 years, in Wedding World for 10 years. And from the time I got into it till now, it's like drastically different game of trying to get published, getting your wedding featured.
Mhm.
There were like lots of outlets, and then a few of those outlets have now like dissolved. A couple of the other outlets did like a mass exodus of their staff, and now are like a little bit more heavily relying on AI to write their articles. So then like there's not a staff writer to reach out to try and pitch a wedding, because you're now pitching it to a bot basically. And so it's become increasingly more and more challenging to land publications, but we're definitely involved in the pitching and seeing what lands for sure.
Well, I'm like, dang, how did People Magazine get them photos that fast? You probably see the photographer over there in the corner.
No, that is honestly it.
Yeah.
A lot of times, especially if it's something that already has like a People exclusive, the photographer will be shooting the ceremony and start a reception, and then either have an editor on their team that's editing during the reception.
I was working which this wasn't like a big high profile like People Magazine type wedding or anything like that, but this photographer that I worked with, she just got really claustrophobic at wedding receptions, and so she went and she found this closed off space in the reception area, and I was just like, open up the door to see like where it led to. She's sitting on the staircase just editing previews, you know.
Yeah.
I understand that. Do y'all get a lot of videographers who do like same day edits to show at the reception?
We've only had
Like 2.
I feel like we've only had 2 that did like same day, in the sense of like at the receptions being shown. We've definitely had videographers that are like, if the wedding's on a Saturday, by like Monday morning, they're getting a sneak peek or something like that.
Or depending on if it is a publication, like what the timeline needed for, like,
Because I will tell you, there's a drastic difference whenever it comes to like how my mind works from the mind of like a business owner. I know that if I shoot a influencer's wedding, I'll tell you the name off camera. I shot her wedding, brother. The next day, I had the preview ready.
Oh yeah.
She's got 650,000 followers on Instagram.
Give them what they want.
I'm getting
Give the
on that
people
joint.
what they
Yes.
want,
I'm getting on that
right?
joint. If you don't strike the iron while it's hot.
Right.
Okay, so now we're back on there because I don't want to do. If you don't strike the iron while it's hot, you are literally like losing. You're losing.
Momentum.
That's just how the name of the wedding industry
Yeah.
goes, though. If you don't strike the iron while it's hot, you could miss out on opportunities.
You got to play the game.
You know?
100%.
Oh, my show's on. I'll get to it later. They might have sent that inquiry to 10 other vendors.
You better record it.
Yeah,
sure.
for real.
No, honestly.
Lord, Logan need to be here for this, bro. She's like, put the phone up. You know, we got sent a brick. I was telling y'all about brick earlier. We got sent a brick for free. They want us to make a video about it. I'm pretty sure. I think I will do that. But the brick, how it goes is that you set, it's like your time limit on your phone, except you can't get out of that time limit, or you can't access those apps unless you tap the brick again.
Gotcha.
So whenever we would go to Disney World last year, we decided to take it. And I was like, let's see what a night at Disney World looks like without having access to our social media and stuff like that. And dog, it was great.
You're so much more
Oh,
present.
yeah.
So much more present. And then it's just like, if I did that in the work hours, I'd be absolutely steamrolling. But,
yeah.
but you know, it's just,
I could do that too, especially when we travel. Like, I'll turn my phone on Do Not Disturb or something, but I'm the picture taker. So if we want memories from that trip, like, I've got to have mine. But I have gotten to a point, especially over the last like 2 years, where I'm not concerned about posting in the moment. You know what I mean? We'll get back to the Airbnb or something that night, and I may do like a dump on my story from the day.
Mhm.
But I've noticed that it's not good for me to stay
Justin's gotten so much
connected.
better about it.
Well,
So I
I
stay off.
think just social media in general, I'm getting to a point where I'm like, if this was not primarily like my job,
And that's where the balance is.
I'd be
like,
done. I'd be
100%.
so done.
Yeah.
I have to like consciously choose to like do a post on my personal Instagram because I'm on Instagram so much just for Wedding World that I'm like, if I actually want to post a picture of like us at the beach on a walk or something like I used to do before social media was too crazy, I feel like I have to like consciously be like, oh, you should probably post on your personal Instagram because like you haven't done that in 2 months or something.
Exactly.
But Wedding World is so consuming, and it is really like we don't pay for any marketing, and I feel like we honestly probably 9, if not 10 out of 10 of our couples are finding us on Instagram. Like literally everyone's finding us on Instagram.
That's how the first couple that ever booked me for something that I had to hop on a plane for.
Yeah.
She found me through a wedding hashtag. And, you know, back in the day when hashtags were actually relevant to getting seen elsewhere, it was just like hashtag Colorado videographer. And they were getting married up in, I'm going to say Breckenridge or Aspen area. And they took a chance on your boy. I was stoked. I was like, man. And then it's kept going. And then we went out to Italy in 23. First time ever out of the country was to the Amalfi Coast.
Beautiful.
See, we still haven't been there yet.
Dog. Well, let's go. What are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing? So I know to a lot of people, especially around here in Hoptown, if I say the name Justin McGregor, they'll say,
hottie. That's what they'll say.
Oh my God.
actually, yes. I do have a couple people that have told me that, actually, yeah, contrary to what you might believe. But anyways, they said,
Sweaty.
hey, that fan going, no, it's like, oh, he did Taylor Lautner's wedding.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was like, look, I told y'all Hoptown got pool, bro. How did that come about?
Some good stuff comes out of Hoptown.
I swear, Farrell's Hamburgers.
I'm just gonna do like a little pivot and say how much I love Hoptown.
Yeah.
I grew up in a small town until I came here and realized that this was a true small town. It is like I love coming back to Hoptown. Every time we come,
everybody know your business.
Oh,
we
yeah.
went into Walmart after we got engaged. Random people coming up to us saying congratulations. I was like, do you know who that was?
Right.
I have no idea who that was. It's crazy. I don't know. It's like once you leave the small town though, it's like you just like broaden your horizons. So how did y'all get a hold of was like Taylor and Taylor's wedding the first wedding y'all ever like booked that was like huge?
That was definitely, I mean, we had done like some country singers in Nashville.
Which were like notable in country world, but I feel like Taylor was like across the spectrum. Like people knew, even if you didn't watch Twilight, you knew who Taylor Lautner was just because it was like such a
That's
frenzy.
Shark Boy.
Right,
But
exactly.
I'm so sorry.
So you guys booked Taylor Lautner's wedding through his sister, correct?
Through his sister. So for years, Josiah worked at a brunch restaurant in 12 South
In Nashville.
in Nashville.
What was that spot?
It was called the Flip Side. It's not there anymore.
Okay.
It's now called Bottle Cap.
But the hostess there knew McKenna, Taylor's sister, from California, because they're both from California.
Okay.
And McKenna got engaged, and Alexa was just like, I know this guy, like, you know.
And honestly, sorry, really quick. At that point, we hadn't done any influencer, any celebrity of like any capacity. So she was literally like, oh, this girl that I go to school with, her name is McKenna. She's an influencer. She has like 180,000 followers or something like that. And she's like, that would be amazing for you to get in. And so even when she said that she had a classmate that was an influencer, we didn't know that it was Taylor's sister necessarily. We were just like, hopefully the top tier was like, the goal was to land the influencer wedding at the time.
Once she just told us her name was McKenna. So, but yeah, we ended up doing her wedding. Taylor was the man of honor, and then Girl Tay was a bridesmaid. And so that's how we met them and had great conversation with them that night. And then they ended up getting engaged. And so we had like reached out and reached out and reached out.
My favorite thing about weddings is like it's like It's like literally like a job fair for vendors though, like per se. It's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of other
exactly.
people that are getting married.
There's 8
Here.
bridesmaids and 8 groomsmen. That's like potentially 16 other weddings.
Yes.
Watching the behind the scenes of it go down. Yeah.
And if you do a good job at this every wedding is my Super Bowl. I'm on my best behavior every wedding because I could land me a bunch of more opportunities.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So it was his sister's wedding, if I'm recalling correctly. Okay.
And so then when they got engaged, Taylor and Tay got engaged. We DM'd them a couple different times, didn't hear back, didn't think anything of it. We were just like, that would be so crazy. But also, they live in LA. There's LA wedding planners that like have a lock on all of the celebrities, like probably won't happen. It was probably like 6 or 7 months after they got engaged. We had already decided that we were going to move to LA. And you can keep telling
We
the rest.
literally rolled into LA on a Saturday, and they called us on Monday. It was like, so sorry, we've been MIA. Like, can y'all meet us at the house on Wednesday for?
No, this is a crazy story.
And so, like, all of our shit was still in a pod coming across the country. So we only had what was packed up in my car,
which
and
was
it was
to the
basically
roof.
like this. And so,
girl, imagine pulling up the Taylor Lautner house in a Bucky t-shirt.
Right.
I mean, no, we went to we did go to Target and we bought some clothes and changed in the McDonald's bathroom in Malibu.
Popped the tags off at McDonald's Malibu, changed in the restroom,
and drove up.
Come
to the
on.
house.
drove to the house, and our car was packed to the roof inside of the car with the flat screen TV, like everything that we had driven.
Bro, what
And
the
so we
heck?
literally went to their house. They opened the door that was about 18 feet tall, giant California style house.
It's something you see on Grand Theft Auto 5.
Sat down, chatted with them. They locked in, signed a contract. We left, and we're just like driving away with our like tag from Target still stuck on our shirt.
No, I literally still had one.
It was
I
a real.
like, well.
It was a real. I mean, can't make it up. It
It's
was
so
pretty
crazy. It's like you don't really, those pivotal moments in your life, you don't ever really feel like they would feel how they felt in that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't hit you till probably months later. You're like, oh, I did that.
Truly.
You
I
know,
think sometimes we still look back and are like, did that really happen?
dude, that's crazy.
It also keeps it because it's like a big wedding like that happens, then like the PR and the publicity from that wedding is happening. But while that's happening, we're still planning 6 to 8 other weddings for other couples. So by the time like we in theory would have a second to catch up and be like, wow, we just did that. We're already like sending another couple down the aisle. So it really doesn't ever sink in. Like this past January was the first month where we were like, it was actually still enough where we were like, whoa, what has just happened for the past 5 years? Because it's been go,
We've
go,
been able
go.
to sit down and reflect a lot. But
Well, that's
it was
good.
just a big deal.
So
Two
needed.
small town boys from Kentucky and Georgia, and just
Well, I think
how did this happen?
I think what people aren't understanding is that you don't have to be from a certain family or a certain demographic or a certain town
Location, yeah.
to make something of yourself.
Not at all.
It's all about believing in it
Yes.
and chasing it. That's true.
What did Bad Bunny say at the Super Bowl? Hey, look, we talking about it, baby. It's here. What did he say at the Super Bowl? He said, I got here because I believed in myself, and I believed that you can do something like the exact same. That's what he said. I had the subtitles on.
Yeah.
Duolingo hated to see me coming the next day, baby.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But it's just like, I truly believe that us as humans, we are far more capable of doing anything we want in this entire world. And the only thing you need to do is believe in yourself.
100%.
It sounds so cliche, but it really is true.
It's true. You can do
even-
anything
I never
you
thought that I would
want.
end up in weddings, but when I still lived here, I really did think like I wanted to do something in the entertainment industry. I just didn't know like what that was. Like
Yeah.
I didn't want to be famous, but like wanted to be involved in that creative process somehow, and landed on this, and it's kind of like a marriage between the both worlds. But it's just cliche because it's like you really just have to believe in it and dream about it and seize opportunity
And talk about it.
and don't
Like,
second guess the opportunity. Like, well, I could never get this. Like, look who else is out there that is a shoe-in, and it's just like that's not always the case.
Right.
Because you never know who's looking at your stuff, too.
Right.
You know, that kind of like low key like terrifies me. It's like why you have to be very selective with what you put on the
Yes.
internet, you know?
Right.
It's like cuz you never know who's going to be looking and you never know who's going to stumble upon your profile, you know, and stuff like that. But I mean, you do have to what a lot of people don't understand is like it's a slippery slope between like okay, you get this really really big booking and but you're in a constant state of what if, you know, like what if that's the only one I get,
Right.
you know? I mean, you can't just base your whole career off of, oh, well, I did this one,
Right.
you know? So how many weddings are y'all like taking on a year though?
We are trying to keep it at 8. We were doing 10, and that was feasible. But for our own, like, the way that we always kind of break it down is if we're taking 8 couples, that's 16 people getting married. And those 16 people, 9 times out of 10 will have a mom or a mother-in-law involved. So then that's now like 30 people that were, or 25 easy that were opinions, conversations, emails, calls with 25 or so. So
And they're
even though we're
thinking
doing
about
8
things you didn't even know.
Right.
Yeah.
And going back and forth a good bit. So I feel
Yeah.
like out of all of the wedding vendor categories out there, the planner is the one working the longest amount of hours and time with somebody. Photo, video, even like flower, like all of these other vendors will be working with the couple initially and then on their wedding weekend and then edit time behind the scenes. But in terms of like conversation, opinions, deciding factors, like all of that, we're working with them. Like a lot of couples we're working with for over a year, sometimes a year and a half. So we're doing eight a year is our cap. And then we have Marianne who works with us as well. And she will take up to 8. So collectively under Samkoma 16, but Justin and I are just taking 8.
Yeah.
So Marianne, she's like, I think I remember y'all posting about this. So I just might say what I know. Y'all have like a Montana or like Wyoming
Yeah.
sector, right?
She's
she's
based
in
in
Montana.
Montana.
Go ahead.
We did a wedding in Montana in September, 2 Septembers ago. And she was working at the venue that we were doing the wedding at. And we just instantly connected with her. She was considering starting her own wedding planning company. But she's been in and around wedding world for over 10 years. And so she's been amazing. She has...
And she was the head of food and beverage at the resort that was the venue that she was working at. So she brings all of that knowledge as well, which is vital.
I bet.
Yeah.
So she has she has a Biltmore Estate wedding, a Portugal wedding. She just booked an Italy wedding. So she's on fire right
She's
now
on a
as
roll,
well.
yes.
Goodness.
It's been really fun.
Well, that's awesome to see y'all expanding and growing and stuff like that.
Really proud of her.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you guys ever thought it would get to something like this, did you?
Truly not. I mean, even big hopes and big dreams, it still wasn't like this. So yeah, I mean, we're consistently floored and literally so grateful for every couple. It's truly, we can like trace it back that where we are now is like the couples that are currently on our roster. This couple saw this wedding. This bride had booked us because her maid of honor booked. I mean, we can trace it all the way back to like 10 years of like basically like a family tree.
Absolutely.
Looking at like how far we've come, but it's all because this couple's wedding happened, which this person saw on social, and then this person saw this wedding, and so it
It's
just
been a big
snowballs from
ripple
there.
effect, yeah.
That's crazy. So whenever it comes to like, 'cause I know there are a lot of weddings you all do that require build outs of like sets and stuff, right? There was one I saw that y'all did. I was absolutely floored. I was trying to find it this morning, but I couldn't go back enough. It was like y'all built like a whole, like, I don't want to say house or something, but it was, do you know what I'm talking
The whole
about?
It was
on the beach.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
in-
was insane.
That was in Figure 8 Island, and we covered his entire backyard, his pool, took out
God
landscaping,
almighty.
had palm trees removed.
He reached out to his next door neighbor who was currently building his house and asked if they could pause construction so that we could like carry over the cocktail hour porch onto his neighbor's lot.
And we did that from start to finish in like 90 days.
From when he called us to when the wedding happened.
So these structures, they just like take it down right after. It's
Yeah.
like nothing.
The build out for that wedding it was 5 days of load in and 2 days of load out. I mean, the wedding ended at midnight.
You sound like a construction manager right now,
mean,
dog. That's
beep,
crazy.
beep.
Come on, Tonka, what's up?
Come on, Tonka. No, literally. That was a crazy one. But yeah, it was 5 day load in and 2 day load out. We got out there the day after the wedding. The wedding ended at midnight, and we got out there the next day at like
11 a.m.
And the whole tent was already completely down. They were already working on the floor. So, I mean, the teams that we work with, were very intentional with like finding teams that have the knowledge and experience of knocking those types of productions out.
Mm-hmm.
But it is insane to watch it go from like a backyard to an entire building that never existed to right back to a backyard within like 5 days.
Yeah.
I think I did a wedding a couple years ago where I thought it was insane that they started the build out for it on a Tuesday. I was like, wait, Nate, till Saturday, what's going on? The tent was massive, though.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of those, like, it's like they had like the greenhouse roof. It was like the glass roof. It was incredible.
Beautiful.
It was incredible. They actually hired me to come like shoot BTS of like their entire team, like coming to like set
as
it
they
up.
should.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
It was
literally a
crazy.
whole production. Yeah.
It was crazy.
It's insane to see it behind the scenes. And that last Biltmore wedding that we just did, where we did the whole Greek Orthodox facade on the tent, I mean, that was a 7-day load in.
Yeah.
No, whose wedding was that?
Just like a sweet
Girl that
bride that
Okay.
she's in med school and
Okay. There was a
super
wedding I
comfortable.
thought y'all did. Am I tripping y'all? Have y'all worked with Jose Villa yet?
Yes.
we did, and we worked with him at the Biltmore. It was just on
Yeah,
a
yeah,
different
yeah.
Biltmore. So there was so that was the one that we did with Jose. That was daughter of a pastor, like a big church
Yeah.
known pastor. And we did like a build out on the outside of the tent that looked similar to like a castle build. And then this past October, another bride was getting married at Biltmore, had seen that original brick looking design, liked it. But her mom was hoping that she was going to get married in the Greek Orthodox Church because they're Greek Orthodox. And so she actually ended up having a separate Greek Orthodox Church ceremony. But I was like, what if we build a Greek Orthodox church at Biltmore? Like, let's just
Another level, dog.
let's just build the chapel.
Are you ever just sitting there and you're just thinking, what if they say yes to this?
No, all the time.
You're like, you ever just thinking,
I've learned for a long time. I was like nervous to throw out the ideas.
yeah.
Now, because a couple of those ideas have happened, now I'm just like, I'm going to throw out the craziest ideas. And if you don't like it, no worries. I'll keep it in the back of my mind.
And
That way
that's why y'all are at where y'all are at.
And we can always scale back,
Well, my thing is that you could always shoot for the stars.
Right.
There's the worst you could shoot. That's the worst you can do.
Right.
If then just shoot for the atmosphere, shoot for the whatever's below that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna hurt, but that's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Building a whole.
It had a sunken in porch on the inside of the front of the tent. So like before
Oh
you even
my
walked into the tent, you
gosh.
walked into a covered porch area and then walked into the
So
tent.
are there literally like construction teams and builders that are solely like that is their sole job is to do stuff like that, like build up and tear down kind of stuff?
It's like production. We're working on our side with production teams that is like they have everything from like the capabilities of building out a whole church all the way down to like tables, chairs, couches. So it's like a rental company on steroids.
That's incredible.
Rental companies that have like China glassware, flatware, some tables and chairs, and call it a day. Then there are some rental companies that take it up a step from that also do like lighting and draping. And then there are production companies that have all of it under one roof.
See, I didn't know, this is so funny, but if you've looked around the room long enough, you have noticed that I am very attached to professional wrestling.
I have noticed that, and I love that.
Very attached to professional wrestling. They recently had the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. It's like a first time ever kind of deal. What was crazy is that they built a stadium and then tore it down right afterwards.
Crazy.
And I think we are seeing that a lot more common in a lot of different other places because Toronto has one of those too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, I didn't know that was such a common thing for just like a one night event.
The good news also is I feel like while there are some pieces that can't be can't be reused.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the things that we're doing when we're working with the production teams we're working with, they're designing it in a way that it can be taken down and then reassembled again. So if it was a situation where we were building a massive church and then like they're literally throwing the dumpster the next day, that would be hard for us to like, even if somebody really wants to go that hard for their wedding, it would be hard for us to like watch that amount of build just literally be thrown in the trash. So the companies that we're working with are like building it in a way that it can be like dismantled. And then down the road, if somebody, Marianne's working with a couple right now that they want their outside of their tent at Biltmore, which conveniently is the same size as the one that we did at Biltmore. They want their wedding venue to look like Italy, Tuscany. So we're potentially adding some like metal handrails to the outside of the church, some Spanish tile to the outside of the church. Then it goes from a church to like a Spanish villa or like an Italian villa. So that way it's repurposed and not solely just like done for one day and then thrown away.
These ain't your third cousin wedding that's getting married in the back of the woodshed, you know?
Right.
This is not, you know, and I think even people, whenever it came to our wedding specifically, is like, we had like succulents at our wedding, and then like we had, have you ever seen our wedding photos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like we had we had like a bounce house, we had Little Caesars, we had a telephone guest book, we had all sorts of this, that, and the other, and then there are people that are like, why are you having Little Caesars at your wedding? I was like, because it's what I want to do.
Right.
This is fun.
Y'all ate it up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Come on, we was
I mean, no
published.
different than like having a food truck show up at like a reception.
And I think it's just like, I don't know. I feel like the people that aren't ever on this side of weddings, they don't understand that like, being a vendor in this industry and stuff, you see it time and time again. And I talked about this, I want to say maybe the third episode. This would be episode 33, I think.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's ridiculous, bro. But I tell people all the time, it's like, yeah, you know, I can't even count on my hand how many times I've heard My Wish by Rascal Flatts, you know, like receptions and stuff. But it's like, yeah, okay, I hear that, say 100 times, right? That's the first time that couple or that father-daughter has ever really danced to that song, you know, because odds are it's their first time. That's one of the individuals' first time ever getting married. So I think it's cool that you guys have like this opportunity to create something beyond, you know, just a song or something like that. It's like a whole structure that nobody's ever seen before.
Right.
So fun.
That's
and
insane.
then when you get to bring that one couple's like, what makes them them, like you had Little Caesars at your wedding. I mean, those are like fun elements to bring in to it. And you can have as an expensive of a wedding as you want to have and still bring in elements like that.
What's the most
unique
unique element? What's the most unique element you guys have ever had brought to you as an idea?
Ooh, good question.
Put us on the spot.
Look, I'm digging deep. I told you no script, baby. I told you no script.
I mean, I definitely feel like the Greek church itself was like, they were like, oh, if only we could get married in the Greek church, but we're getting married at Biltmore. And I'm like, well, let's bring the church to Biltmore. Like that was for sure a big one. I definitely feel like we've had like
build out on figure 8.
We also did like a Raising Cane's food truck that somebody like loved Raising Cane's, wanted it. The food truck doesn't exist in the Southeast, and they brought it from out of like several states over to bring it to the wedding. So that was like a little bit of like an exception that Raising Cane's made, which we were very grateful that they made that exception.
Oh my god!
But I mean, I feel like we're constantly looking. We always tell couples, regardless of if it's like a more cost-effective budget or if people are really going for it and spending like literally what we would consider like lavish, we're still at the end of the day like, if Burger King is your thing, let's bring Burger King.
Yeah.
Like if whatever the detail is that like makes people, when they see it, they're like, oh my god, this is 100% them. We don't want to lose like that personality of the wedding for the sake of it being, because a lot of the weddings that we're doing now are a bit more like an elevated aesthetic overall, but we don't ever want to lose like the intentionality behind the couple themselves for the sake of it being like looking a certain way.
And
or,
honestly,
like,
like reception time and late night fun things that are brought in like that are probably one of my favorite parts of the whole day. It's just
and the speeches.
and
Justin
they
loves
and
the
it all
speech.
goes over so I'm a sucker for a good speech.
Are you
But
really?
I will walk away over a bad one.
Yeah. I hate.
What?
Let's
There's
go.
something I should be doing right
No,
now.
I literally will be like, I can't stop running on a day. Like, it is truly a wedding day is a Christmas day for me. And so I am like hummingbird energy. Like, if somebody is not needing something, I'm gonna like go find somebody that does. And I'll be like running around during a speech, and I'll like look over, and Justin's like smiling and just like getting a little choked up because he gets really stuck on the speeches. It's so sweet.
I think two of my favorites too were that we actually like took time to pause were at Maddie and Andrews when Natasha Bedingfield performed for their
Shout out.
Blank page before.
right,
Open
right.
up the dirty
And then,
window.
of course, like childhood, Justin, like Caitlin and Bobby's was a dream too because Ronnie Dunn performed at that one.
Come on, bro.
Gary,
Yeah,
from
Bobby
Rascal
Bones, right?
Flatts,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Dan and Shay performed at that one. So that was all like.
Justin was out in the front before the ceremony happened. I'm like, people are starting to arrive. Like the
And
parking
I actually
person.
brought my mom to that wedding with me. She was serving cake.
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Oh.
Me and Nene got to dance to Neon Moon while he was while Reddy Dom.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, it was that was a fun. I mean, and it's just stuff like that. I mean, that is a very specific and fun thing to happen, but it doesn't happen every day. You know what I mean? So like,
Well, I think what everybody seems to understand, like what nobody seems to understand is like, you know, like you might post about that about your like you might post on your socials about that, but like social media is a highlight reel. You know, they don't see all the other hard work.
Right.
But I do feel like from y'all's perspective, going through all the hard work and getting to have those experiences with your mom and stuff like that makes it all worth it.
So special.
getting to share it is a big thing. And Josiah's both of his parents came.
My dad played piano for cocktail hour at Taylor Lautner's wedding. He was like, yes. He was like, Taylor was like, I think we want to get like I was like, what if we have a baby grand piano underneath this tree that has all the lights like hanging down from the tree?
Flowers
And Taylor's
growing
like,
all
that would
over
be
it.
amazing. I was like, let me get a quote from a piano player and I'll see like what this comes in at. So then I like get a quote from a local piano player and I call my dad and I'm like, look, I need you to come in cheaper than this. And he's like, just get our flight, like, as long as we can fly out there,
Yeah.
I'll come play it. So my dad with his long hair is just sitting there playing
Bro,
cocktail hour
what the
piano.
heck? Yeah, it's got like a little family business
My
here.
sister's worked a couple of weddings with us. My younger brother worked Cole Swindell's wedding with us.
It doesn't mean anything truly if you can't like share it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And
so
when
special.
we're able to bring it in like that, then we absolutely will.
Oh yeah.
That's incredible.
And also I feel like from the vendor side of things also, it feels like we're in the Oprah or Ellen seat where we're like, great news, you landed this or whatever, you know, like we're getting to
you
be
get
the
a
one
car,
like
and you get a car.
you get to play cocktail hour, you get to like, so it feels exciting for us to be the one, even though we're not the one like we're like the middleman between the experience that the vendor or our family member is getting and the experience itself.
So on the outside of that, besides family members and stuff like that, are most of these couples handing off like booking vendors specifically through y'all?
We are always, oh, you can go ahead.
No,
We always are. Sometimes couples will have specific vendors in mind if they've been to a wedding or they've seen something, they've saved it, and we're always open to working with people. We always tell couples like, we just want to make sure whoever you're getting knows what they're doing and is going to like over deliver for you. Other than that, like if you have somebody in mind, great. But a lot of times couples don't have vendors in mind, so then we will be recommending. And the way we always tell couples is like, we'll present you with 3 options. You can swipe left on all 3 of them. We'll present you with 3 more options until you find something that you love.
Right.
But it's ultimately always in the hands of the couple. They're making all the decisions. They're signing all the contracts. We're simply just like presenting them with options.
I think it's so interesting whenever like I get like an inquiry from a planner and it's like, dang, she knows these, like they know these people big time. And it's just like, it's such an easier process though, going to a planner for me specifically.
Totally.
And I don't know. I think that's really awesome. I lost my train of thought there. So what do y'all have lined up for the next year though?
got.
I'm trying to think of what month we're in right now. We
It is
I know that
February.
January of mental rest. I'm like, I
Yes.
don't even know where we're going. this year.
May, Marianne has a wedding in Jekyll Island, Georgia,
Come
at
on.
Jekyll Club. That'll be beautiful. June, we have an iconic LGBT wedding at the Biltmore Estate.
Okay.
July, we don't have anything. August, we don't have anything that I'm.
Except for me becoming an uncle.
Justin's becoming an uncle in August.
So I
Shout out.
will
Come
be here
on.
for
Come
that.
on.
And then September, we start cranking out. We have a wedding September 5th. We have a wedding September 19th. Both of those are in California.
Mhm.
September 25th in Portugal. October 10th at Biltmore. October 17th at Biltmore. And then we have 2027 is like pretty stacked. We have 2 spots left for 2027, and then we're booked up, which is wild. We've never been booked out that far. So
That's
We're getting to
crazy.
Switzerland this year for the first time too, right after.
When you going?
Portugal.
September,
For my
end
birthday.
of September.
That's crazy. I might be going at
And
the
I'm walking
beginning
a
of
little Stoops
September.
Ridge. Yeah,
I might go at the beginning of September. That's
It's
crazy.
been on the bucket list, and his parents are going. So
Yeah.
we luckily we're already going to be in Europe, so we're gonna we made it work.
That's my thing, bro. Is like if you already over there,
If you're across the pond, you got to just like soak it up.
It is so
Just gotta
easy
go.
to bounce around in Europe.
And
just
the
go.
flights and trains from one place to the next
Yeah.
is like a joke.
we got it so bad over here, dog.
So bad.
So bad.
That's a whole separate episode.
We got it so bad over here when it comes to traveling.
Everyone's
specifically.
literally like, you can go from Paris to London for like $28 on
I
a
know.
train or something. Like,
Yes.
what are we doing?
I feel like
I'm
the
like-
States are like, how hard can we actually
make
make
it?
this? Whereas Europe is like, this almost seems too easy.
But the thing is, though, is that you have that opportunity. This is where I feel like I need a sponsorship for this airline. We have that opportunity. We have low prices. But you ain't hopping on the yellow plane. You're scared of the yellow plane.
Yeah.
You hate Spirit Airlines.
Right.
Me? I'm going to be in the big front seat every time.
Look, we've been hopping on the Avelo Airlines. That's pretty cheap
Come
as
on.
well.
Come on.
They're one
No
of the only
difference, and
ones
that's
that has a direct flight
a
from
clean,
Nashville
nice-
to Wilmington.
Really?
Clean,
Yeah.
nice plane.
I flew from Nashville to LA for $35 on Spirit Airlines.
When we lived out there, my sister came to visit, and she flew Spirit.
That ain't no joke.
You can get
But my thing is, though, about these people that live in these small towns, I ain't hopping on no cheap plane. Well, baby, they had the pass certification like everybody else did.
right.
Sea gonna be hard as a rock.
That person's probably not hopping on any plane, to be honest.
Yeah, you gonna go to Panama City for vacation, baby.
You might get a
Clip
Sam's
that.
Called
Cola
it.
versus a Coke, but you know, you still
Shoot.
gonna get a drink.
What is it, Dr. Peppy? Dr. Paps? No. that's
Dr.
not-
Thunder.
Yeah, Dr.
Dr.
Thunder.
Thunder.
Dr. Perky.
Dr. Perky.
Dr. Perky. Dude, well, hey, look, we've been at it for about an hour. These typically go about an hour. I mean, we're just going to keep on running. So I do have to ask, after the wedding has, from like a videographer perspective, whenever it comes to delivering films and stuff like that, say from my personal, like, am I delivering the films to, so say I did Taylor Lautner's wedding.
Yep.
Would I be delivering the film to you, or would I have direct communication to them to deliver said stuff like that?
All of our vendors have direct communication to
Okay.
the couples too, for
Okay.
sure.
That's
We
what I was
always
wondering.
Nothing is
selfishly are
booked
like,
through us.
Okay.
Like,
yeah,
every
They're paying
vendor
you.
is
Okay.
contracted
That's what I
directly
have
through.
always wondered about these things. 'cause
we are
I'm just-
always grateful to be on the email thread. That way, number one, we get to watch it as well to celebrate it, but
Yeah.
also to like hype them up. If they're not looking at their email all the time, we can send them an audio like, oh my God, you just got your wedding video. You have to log on that email right now. So like, I feel like there's, it's not, we always prefer to be on the email thread, but for sure, all of the video teams that we're chatting with are like chatting with the couples directly.
Very cool. So you guys pretty much like, do you guys get access to like, do you guys have permission to post all these things as well? So like,
I mean, for the most part, if it's like a bigger name that's being published or something like that, then we will essentially like have the couple pick which, like a vendor gallery that is okay across the board for all vendors to pull from and post.
And then once we have that, then we will share with the vendors like, here's the album of
Approved
100
list.
photos, and here's the 2 video links that you have. There were definitely like videos from the Taylor's wedding, for example, that like they kept for themselves because it was like a more emotional, special, intimate moment that they didn't want to share with the general public. So like sometimes we get lucky to like get to see that on video, but we also were there in person seeing it. So like we've seen it.
You ever get weddings that like you just can't post about at all?
We were just talking about this on the way here. We've had like 2, and honestly, I feel like we just had this conversation with a photographer where she was saying like she charges premium for an NDA wedding where like she can't share anything from it, but she makes extra money to shoot it, but then she can't share anything. We were just talking about this on the way here that I'm like, it would be very hard for us to get on board with that, even if there was more money involved, because at our core, we're doing this for the creativity of it all and to like work for a year and a half nonstop
and not to really have anything to show for
to
it.
not share it or to not even get to like not even just share it to like book more couples, but even get to share it to be like, this is something we really busted our ass on, like look at what we did, and we can't do that.
It's not even about for us like posting with people. It's just like we want the photos of the design itself.
Well, I did a wedding last April that I have not been able to post at all. And it was probably for me as a kid that loved this city in particular. I did a wedding underneath the Brooklyn Bridge.
Wow.
In New York City and could not post it. They specifically requested that I did not. There was nothing. They're just real big, like private people and stuff like that. They both went to NYU, sweetest couple on the face of the planet. And it was my first time ever setting foot in a Michelin star restaurant. It was my first Michelin star meal I ever had in my life. And
it was a moment.
It was awesome. But, you know, I feel like a lot of people, they feel like those moments are wasted if you can't post about it on socials and stuff like that. You know, I feel like another section of that is like whenever Logan and I decided to like have kids and stuff, I don't want my kids on social media. Like I don't want their faces on social media. So it's like there's some people are like, oh, I had this kid, I can't even post about it, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like we've gotten such into a mindset where like stuff isn't.
If it's not posted, it didn't happen.
Right. Yeah. And I just, you know, I really want to post that wedding.
I know.
It was really cool.
So I think like we were talking about that on the trip in here, and I was just saying, I would say in order for us to probably be on board, it would be a contingency in our contract that like you at least have to pick 10 photos of the design with no people in them, no nothing. That
we don't have to disclose whose wedding it was.
We are allowed to share.
And I feel like that is a better way to go about it, because now that I think about it, I could have structured something with them that I could post stuff from the wedding day, just not have their faces visible.
Or even have any of their guests. If they wanted total privacy, then like you could have shot like slow pan down the aisle, detail shots of the ceremony, detail shots of the reception,
like
aerial drone
names in the caption. We won't.
Yeah.
Just geotag in New York, like
somewhere else. Nobody would know that this was your
I had a
day.
Crazy April. We went from New York to the next week. We drove all the way down to Perry, Georgia for a Hindu wedding. Oh. Y'all ever done one of them?
We've done like a hybrid Hindu Catholic fusion.
I've done like 3 of those, but I mean, like
that's
full
iconic.
on, they don't tell you how long them weddings are, bro.
It's a celebration.
3.5 hours.
Yep.
Woo, Lord.
And 4 days. Was it like 4 or 5 days?
We were only down there for 2.
Okay.
But there's a photographer from Clarksville. Shout out Sarah Cannon. She was down there for like 5 days. And experiencing Bharat for the very first time blew my mind.
Oh, I can only imagine.
I was like, hey, look, I'm literally like the champion of walking backwards with a heavy camera. You know, because they're just like
you did that.
Bro, it was just like, so the venue was crazy. It was in Perry, Georgia. And like, they did like, instead of going in like a straight line like you typically do, they did like a whole lap around the whole property. And they had like this DJ that was playing this crazy, it was like Indian trance EDM or something like that, right?
Sounds amazing.
It was crazy. And like, bro was not sparing no cost on them subs. And like, I'm just like, I'm probably going to have tinnitus here in a couple of years because of it. Not because of that wedding specifically, but dog, I'm just talking, they're just cutting up.
Yeah.
Cutting up full.
My arm is hurting.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, I was doing a gimbal though.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, back problem central. But it's just crazy. There's a lot of things that like go into these weddings specifically that I don't think a lot of people ever like imagine.
Right.
What has been the craziest thing that has ever gone wrong on a wedding day for y'all that you've fixed?
I honestly feel like the craziest thing that's actually went wrong was the Lake Como wedding. And the whole reception was in a glass
greenhouse
tent
Mhm.
structure. It was at
Mhm.
Villa Balbiano.
Uh-huh.
And cocktail hour had just ended.
Uh-huh.
And all the guests, we had just gotten into the tent. Photographer, videographer had just did all the like empty room shots, and the band started playing, and then it started raining, and then that rain quickly turned into hail,
Oh no.
and then the power went out. And
the band kept
then-
playing like the trombones and stuff that weren't plugged in. We're like, we'll just keep the party going. Everybody's like, it's okay. I mean, like, it wasn't dark. It was just like no
Yeah.
power.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, the ceiling collapsed.
Oh!
Started cracking at
Tables
first.
caught on fire. People are having chairs over their heads.
Everybody's hiding
People
under
are
the tables.
We're underneath a bar, like with another couple.
I had my phone in an upside down. I dumped out a pitcher of limes from the bar and put my phone upside down inside the pitcher because I was like, tomorrow everybody's going to be calling. Like, how do we fix this?
We got
What
at
do we
least have one
do?
phone.
Could not be
And
like,
we're still in Europe for another
week and a
7
half,
days
yeah.
after that.
So
Oh my
that was
gosh.
something that we could literally have never have controlled. Still to
Mhm.
this day, I'm like, what could we have done different?
And
But
was this was y'all's first foray into like that type of
Yes.
like luxury
Yes.
thing, and that's crazy.
And luckily, it turned out as best it could. So it was
Mhm.
supposed to be a 3-course plated meal, and ended up having just little rounds of pasta served on like
Appetizer.
appetizer plates and passed around.
And at that point, it's like there's nothing you can do.
I mean, people literally just grab bottles from the bar. They're chugging, taking shots, pouring shots in each other's mouth. It was like a rager
They were doing a
inside
slip
an
and
old.
slide down the aisle.
I mean, because like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
You know?
And the people, like the family, the bride, the guest,
Uh-huh.
everybody had like the time of literally their lives. I feel like the only people that were like, obviously in the initial moment, everybody was in shock factor. But once the hail stopped, it only lasted like 5 minutes or
Maybe
something.
5 minutes, yeah.
And then once it stopped, fortunately, you're not supposed to have events inside the villa because it's from the 1700s. But the villa owner was like, we obviously have like 150 people here that are soaked. We have to like get them out. So we ended up having a party inside the villa, which is like not permitted according to the villa. So they actually got like a house party in a 1700s villa in Lake Como, and like everybody had the time of their lives. I feel like the people that were most tweaked were the vendor team, because
Yeah.
like we were like, how do we fix this? But the guests were literally like, we're all wet, we're all having a good time, like let's rage
Let's
on.
go.
So
Once
they
we figured out like we could get them inside and
Uh-huh.
figured out the catering and food
Right.
aspect of it, everything else really did flow. I mean, it was like traumatizing because number one, it was a gorgeous tent design and
Mhm.
setup, and at least we got the photos.
and the
before it.
family was like, could not be
And
like,
nobody was hurt.
they're the most kind family, so understanding that like it was out of everyone's control. They actually just reached out about potentially planning the other daughter's wedding of the family that's now engaged. So
yeah.
we were happy that I'm like, we've worked with other couples where like the dad or somebody could have been like, it could have been a much worse situation, even though it was something we couldn't control.
Mhm.
So we
Yeah.
were very grateful that if it was going to happen, that it happened with an amazing team of vendors that knew how to like pivot quickly, and an amazing family.
Because
that
I
was
feel
really
like
understanding.
what a lot of people don't understand, and we were talking about this earlier, I really feel like I could do a whole, Logan is encouraging me to do a whole podcast episode by myself. She's encouraging me to just let it rip. She's like, you got a lot of things you want to get off your chest. You need to just say it. Well, there's one thing that I really just need to get off my chest is you need to quit booking. There's a big influx of what I'm seeing in the wedding world right now is these brides are going into these groups or going on to these TikToks, and they're like, I'm in search of this, and these vendors are going on to these TikToks and these groups like just looking desperate. They're looking so desperate. And to those brides, I want to tell you, that it is one of those things you have to be very, very careful, because this is the most important day of your life, or at least I hope it is.
Yeah.
And you are booking somebody who is being that desperate person commenting on, and I understand these people have got bills to pay. They have got dreams to build. I understand, but this is the biggest day of your life.
Right.
There's like, I'm sure whenever y'all got married, y'all vetted your vendors very well. You know, it's a
Totally.
very important day to you. And you're booking these vendors just based off of like it's like 1 out of like 400 comments. You know, does that not sound fishy to y'all? You know, it sounds very crazy to
Do
me.
they have a portfolio to reference back to? Do they have, you know?
And not to mention that I don't know if you've seen, but there's also like a couple of photographers and video teams that have done AI videos to show people
Mhm.
how deceptive AI could be, in the sense that like there's a couple of photographers out there that have made full photography portfolios, all of fake AI weddings, just to prove that like if you're not aware and vetting the people that you're booking, you very well could fall for an AI scam where you're literally signing with a photographer and then realizing like the photographer isn't even a real like it's not even real.
If we're going to talk about, you know, just people just putting up fake fronts, I think weddings are becoming the most scam-filled industry. It's like soon enough, I really feel like there are people that are really getting fooled just for the money, but there's people who are scam artists that are coming into the wedding industry because they know how easy it is to take advantage of people in this field. And I think it's great that we have folks like you two that are like, you know, you're well vetted in the industry now. You know what's good, you know what's not. And I think that's why I think having a planner helping you do all these
100%.
things, having a planner helping you, holding your hand through this, not really helping, like not really holding your hand, but you know, somebody who can tell you, oh, that person seems legit. That person does not. I saw, it's so weird, you know, y'all living in North Carolina. I don't know how it has happened, but I have gotten in, like my Facebook algorithm is like, hey, let's show Hunter, North Carolina wedding vendor talk and stuff like that. So you probably know what I'm talking about. There is a photographer in North Carolina that has just completely disappeared off the face of the planet. And people are like, yeah, she owes me my wedding photos from 9 months ago. She has like a backlog of like 120 couples.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it has turned into some kind of like domestic violence situation is what I have come to find out, because she completely disappeared.
Like ghosted.
She dissolved her entire business. And I think she's sending out refunds and stuff like that. But that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Stuff like that happens.
We always tell people when they're when they're considering booking us, like whether you book us or don't book us, it's important that you find a planner that you align with, because you're going to be talking to them a lot. And two, if it's not us, like find someone. Do not try and do this alone. It's like if you're going into buying a house blind and you don't have a real estate agent and you don't have somebody to guide you, chances are you're probably not going to like, it's going to be a lot bumpier of a process.
Absolutely.
And a wedding is like a house. While there are some complexities with like finding the right house, finding a house that's in your price point, with a wedding, there are 20, 30 vendors that you're navigating at a time, depending on how big the wedding is.
And one bad one can sabotage.
It can be such a ripple
Absolutely.
effect. So
Absolutely. If you got one person on that team that their heart's not in it all the way.
And even if it's like a situation where you can't afford a planner or don't know anybody that has experience coordinating or something like that, like reach out to your videographer like you, like Danielle the florist. Like, you know, you guys have worked with a lot of different people that you probably have more knowledge in that side of it than you realize that you do, and can at least point these clients in the right direction of like,
Absolutely.
this is who you at least need to like reach out to.
Absolutely.
Or if you book this florist, then like have a conversation with them.
I only really, I want to say 95% of our weddings that we are doing these days, it's with people that I have already worked with before.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse on a wedding day than having to make a bunch of new friendships.
right.
It's terrible.
You don't know how each other works together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know that me, like I'm chatting it up, but like that's the experience that you get whenever you book Ezell Film Co. Is like, I don't want you to feel like you're on, because your wedding's not a photo shoot. You know, I don't want you to feel like your wedding's a photo shoot. I don't want you to feel like you're on a video shoot. I want you to feel like cameras are pointed in your face the entire day. My job is to capture your wedding day. Your job is to get married and have a great day.
Right.
You know?
This isn't the vendor's day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You know, it's not, oh, Ezell Film Co.'s got a lot more content today. No, it's your wedding, bro. What are you doing?
Right.
You know, and I hate the mentality that, like, these grooms that get, like, I'm sick of the camera. Why you like that?
yeah.
Right.
I didn't do my job well if you feel like that.
Right.
You know? Closing this out, do you guys have any tips for brides making their wedding planning easier? Anything from the brain?
I'm gonna let you take that one because you are like the logistical guru.
I would say number one, find a planner. If you don't want to spend money on a planner, find a coordinator, find somebody so you're not doing it alone.
Find somebody that's knowledgeable about the industry, even just a little bit.
Yes, literally tip number one. Tip number two is, while Pinterest is beautiful, it will also tell you that you're 12 months behind, you're already failing, you're already tweaked out before you even start dreaming about your wedding. So if you do get on Pinterest to start looking at beautiful things, don't start looking at the checklist and timelines of when you need to do those things.
Absolutely.
Because every single one of those is going to be contradicting every other one, which is only going to make you feel behind, like you're failing, stressed out, anxious, like all the things that you don't have to feel. If you find a coordinator or you find a planner first, they can help you with the timeline and then give you a couple of things to work on at a time so that the entire experience feels amazing. And
to piggyback off the first one, it also helps level out expectations. Like if you've got this Pinterest board and it is like of the most expensive weddings that have ever been done, and you don't have the budget for that, then a knowledgeable person will let you know from the front end what is realistic and what's not, and how you can achieve this look going like maybe a different route. That way you're not spending your entire planning process thinking that you've dreamed up your dream wedding and now you just can't have any of it. So I feel like that is a setting realistic expectations based on
Realistic
budget.
expectations at the absolute front.
Yes.
I feel like I think the Southern term on that is having to come to Jesus.
Having to come to Jesus.
have to.
Like,
You have
let's
to.
get this uncomfortableness out of the way on the front end. And
What
then that
can we
way-
make happen? I feel like that's what a lot of people need to do. Because I get a lot of people that are like, "Oh, we thought we could make this happen, but it's just not panning out." I
Yeah.
feel like if you set them expectations at the front,
Yes.
And we worked with budgets all across the spectrum. And even for our clients that have a bigger budget, we are still working overtime in a lot of ways to figure out how to save them
absolutely.
here and there. And
Because bigger
again, that
budgets-
ends up being like the other Oprah moment of like, look what we were able to get you. And
Yeah. Bigger budgets also come with another level set of expectations as well. So it's not just that, like, if somebody feels like they don't have enough money to have the wedding that they want, even if you had more money, you're still going to probably feel like you don't have enough to have the wedding that you want. So it's really like getting off of the comparison game of everybody else's wedding and truly thinking about, like, what do you want for yourself? Just because you got engaged doesn't mean like now you randomly have $1 million to spend. Like if you didn't have $1 million before, you're not going to have it now.
And I know it seems like that on Instagram. It's like, oh, this couple has gotten engaged. Now they just magically have
all this money.
And I think that a lot of it too is like, again, it just comes back to social media and like being aware of, like, even within wedding world, while there are lots of things like, once you get engaged, in order to ask your bridesmaids, you have to propose to all of your bridesmaids and get them all gifts. It's like, that's cute. And if you have a lot of money, let's go for it. But if you don't have a lot of money, for the last 800 years, people were asking their bridesmaids to be their bridesmaid by like talking to them and saying, would love for you to stand next to me on my day. You don't need to like buy them a Coach purse to have an envelope inside that says, will you be my bridesmaid? Like, come on.
You ain't got to go to David Dobrik route and ask somebody to do something for you by getting them a Ferrari. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I mean, if you have it, let's go. But if you don't, it's like there's so many things like late night snacks and favors, and everybody has. It's like yes, we can keep adding these layers, but if we break it down to like the core things that you need, you have each other. That's the biggest decision of your life, finding each other. And then from there, after you have the location, photo and video are the first two things we talk about. Because
Absolutely.
like after your wedding is over, those are the things you have to look back on. And like
We're on the same
we
wavelength.
will
I
say
say that every day.
We will say that till the day we die, because truly that is, I mean, like after the wedding's over, while we love getting to help couples design with like beautiful build outs and all the things, they're not taking that Greek church home with them. They're looking at the pictures from that Greek church.
All you're going to have when you're old and gray is photos and videos. So that's why a knowledgeable vendor team that is going to make your memories last tenfold.
Exactly.
You know, things you did not see.
Right.
You know, I feel like my job is honestly the most important, right behind the people who keep the show going.
It is.
It's like, you know, like all you're going to remember is what I've given you.
Correct.
And if, you know, I mean, I'm not going to make your wedding something it's not. I'm going to make it what it was. And I feel like that's incredible. But I really feel like we've had this is the longest episode we've ever put out.
Yes.
Hour and a half of
90
nothing.
minutes of hangs.
90 minutes of hangs. There's going to be so much content to come from this. Oh my God, this is going to be insane.
Amazing.
But hey, look, you guys have the opportunity to say something to that camera right there, to the people watching this or listening to this. What are you going to say to them?
Love you, Hoptown.
Love you, Hoptown. Yes. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting
Thanks for
your
having
hometown
us.
boys.
Absolutely. Hey, look, my name's Hunter Ezell. I am the head of Ezell Film Company. We have a podcast called Creative Chaos. I want you to know that the world might be scary right now, but I hope this hour and a half has given you some kind of reprieve into how crazy it is out there. I say it every episode. I want you to love yourself. I want you to put your best foot forward. If you believe in yourself, that's enough. That's all you need to do something, man. This has been episode 32, 33, 34. I don't know. We've got so many guests lined up, but I hope you've had a great time, and we'll see you on the next one. Love you. Bye.